Hello everyone. So today is the day that me, my husband, and my daughter, we're all gonna get on a plane and fly down to another city where I'm going to have my second excision surgery for endometriosis. I'm also getting a scope in my bladder and in my uterus. I couldn't think of the word there for a second. I'm just waking up still. And I am also getting an IUD put in with possible ovarian suspension. So I'm hoping I don't have to get my ovaries suspended, but if it happens, it's fine. So I'm gonna be staying down there for about 2 weeks, and we chose to fly down because last time when we just drove down for my intake appointment at this clinic in December, it took us like, what was it, like 12 or more hours to get there. There were a lot of variables involved in that, and normally it only takes like 9, but we just didn't want to do that, especially with how my pain acted up, and we'd now be traveling with their 3-year-old, so we don't want to do that. So we're gonna be flying down. It's my first time on a plane, and I'm super excited. Hey guys, so I am 3 days post-op, and I didn't vlog as much as I wanted to, because once we got here, things were kind of busy and crazy, and then I had surgery in the morning, and then obviously, not really feeling up to filming. But right now I'm just very tired and I'm gonna take a nap. But so far it's been going pretty good. I think there have been some hiccups that have caused some pain and stuff like that, but I'm also gonna call the nurse to see if my tiredness or me being lethargic is normal at this point, because it seems to only be getting worse. Because I started off feeling very awake, very aware and everything, and then as the days have kind of gone on, I've been getting more tired and been needing more rest, more sleep, and I haven't really changed my activity level at all. If anything, I've been resting more. So I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully I start to feel better soon. Hey guys, so today is post-op day 6, and I'm feeling better. I'm starting to come off of the opioids. Yesterday, I was still on them. In the last clip you saw, that's why my eyes were all kind of bugged out. They still are a little bit, but not as bad. So that's good that I haven't had to take them. And last night we went out. I took out my walker And we went out into the yard and had a fun little fire, and we all got to have some nice time together. And I didn't vlog any of that because my phone had to charge. So otherwise I would have. Tomorrow I have my appointment to get my ovarian suspension removed. I don't know if I've really touched base on this, but I had excision surgery with the mirena placement, and it was a possibility that I'd have my ovaries suspended, and I did need my ovaries suspended because there was some endometriosis behind them. I have strings coming out of my body and that are holding up my ovaries. And so tomorrow I'm getting those removed. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm hoping it doesn't hurt. Also, a bit of a story time real quick. You might hear Paw Patrol in the background, just ignore it. But so on day 2 after my surgery, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but on day 2 after you have a laparoscopic surgery, you're supposed to shower. With or without soap, doesn't matter, you just need to shower. Not take a bath. So I was getting ready to do that, and I had gotten email instructions way before about how to kind of go about it. And one of the things that it had mentioned was to remove the gauze from your bandages so that it wouldn't get wet. So I had 2 places where there was gauze. There was gauze covering my belly button, which was good for me to remove. I mean, I could have left it because it was like waterproofed with some special tape or something that they put over it. I'm not sure. I forget what the nurse called it. But I could have left that if I wanted to. But I wanted to take it off. And then I had gauze where my ovarian suspension was. And I talked a little bit about this earlier, but my ovarian suspension is, it's where there's the strings coming out of me and stuff like that. And with the way it is, the strings are wrapped around the gauze, and then that's taped down to my belly and closer to my pelvic region. It's pretty low. And I didn't know that because I was really confused, because when I had talked to the nurse right before my surgery, she had said that if I needed the ovarian suspension, I would have some incisions higher up. So I saw one of the strings by one of my other incisions, and I thought it was going into that one, which was higher up. So I figured, okay, I just won't touch those, and those are the steri strips anyways, I'm supposed to leave those on. So I'll just take this gauze off. That was a horrible decision, because all I was doing was pulling on the strings that were holding up my ovaries, and I was just basically playing puppet with my ovaries. I would not recommend it. I would not. It hurt so bad. I didn't realize that that's what was going on until we had removed a bunch of it. A bunch of the tape. We had gotten the tape off. I was covering it. It was the same waterproof tape that was over my belly button gauze too. So if I had left it, I wouldn't have had to worry about water getting in. But I didn't. I was just so out of it, probably because of lack of sleep, because I had to constantly wake up to take more pain medication, which included the opioids. And You know, you don't think very clearly when you're on opioids. And then afterwards I realized, oh, this isn't what I'm supposed to do. And I almost fainted. I felt like I was going to throw up, and I thought that I was going to faint. I came real close. If I had messed around with it just a little bit more, I probably would have. So, just a little heads up for anyone else who might be having surgery with ovarian suspension or possible ovarian suspension. If you see gauze with string wrapped around it, leave it alone. Do not mess with it, because I wouldn't wish that kind of pain on my worst enemy. That was terrible. So, yeah, luckily, no, as far as I know, no damage was done or anything like that. So, I called the nurse after and asked what I needed to do, and she had said to just tape it up as best I could with medical tape, and if the gauze does end up getting wet, then to just let it air dry before taping it back up again. So that's what I've done. I've showered twice now, in the 6 days since surgery. So it's normally about how I shower anyways. I shower usually twice or 3 times a week. So I showered yesterday, and I'm trying to let it dry out, because it doesn't the medical tape that we have doesn't really seal it up very well. So I removed some of the tape so that I could dry, and then and it takes a really long time for it to dry too. So yeah, definitely if you have like some waterproof, it's like really thin. It feels like you could just puncture it with your finger type thing. It's pretty thin, but it's a really good seal. So if you're having surgery and you see that, leave it. Leave it alone, unless you're instructed otherwise, depending on this type of surgery you get and whatever. But unless you're instructed otherwise to remove it, don't. I would not advise it. But yeah, so that was that. Hey guys, so today went really well. It's just the end of the day now. I'm just getting ready for bed. I wasn't really able to vlog anything, because going into hospitals, normally they don't allow things like video or pictures, at least where I live. So I couldn't film, I couldn't record anything while I was there. And it was all done pretty quick anyways. But because of the fact that I had tried to take off the gauze prematurely for my ovarian suspension, and had to cover it up with medical tape in order to shower and everything like that, it was painful, but it wasn't painful because of my specialist cutting the sutures. It was painful because of the medical tape, because it stuck to my skin like worse than waxing, I think. I mean, I haven't really waxed any area of my body, but I feel like it's probably worse, because it doesn't just like rip off like wax does. It's not just like one quick rip and then it's done. It was constantly like coming off and then stopping, and then coming off and then stopping. And so like he was trying to get it off as quickly and as painlessly as possible, and he apologized a bunch of times. Let me take a bunch of breaks in between. I got so embarrassed because I ended up crying because it hurt so bad for him to take off. And then at one point he got a nurse to come in and help me kind of stay calm and help him with it, and then they were able to kind of work together to get the tape off and stuff like that. And then yeah, also feeling your ovaries go back to where they're supposed to be after they've been suspended for a week is a weird feeling. It is so weird. But anyways, so I'm in a bit of a flare-up today now because of all the pain from trying to get the tape off. I tensed up a lot. I couldn't sit still. It hurt so bad. So because of all the tension and tightness, all that makes endometriosis worse. Plus, I'm recovering from surgery, so tensing up that much a week after surgery, not a good thing. So, yeah, but I'm hoping tomorrow will be a bit better. I'm gonna give myself as much rest as I can, but I am starting to feel better. Since having the suspension removed and all that tape off of me, I'm feeling better, like so much better, because this morning I was feeling like I still needed to use my walker, stuff like that, and I was still like kind of hunched over because it hurt to stand up straight because of the tape constantly pulling on my skin and everything, and it hurt so bad. But now that tape is gone, I feel a lot better. Like I can actually stand up straight, and I've actually been able to walk a lot without the walker. So tomorrow I'm gonna try and see how it goes without using my walker at all. I'll probably bring it out to like the living room area just in case I do find I need it after I'm like been sitting on the couch and then no one has to go get it for me type thing. But so I'll bring it out in the morning when I wake up, but I'm gonna try not to rely on it as much. Hey guys, so please forgive this terrible lighting. Wow, that is pretty bad. But anyways, today is the next day from the previous clip you just watched, and I managed all day without my walker, and I'm pretty happy about that. I'm still trying to pace myself, go slow, not like really push it, because I'm only 8 days post-op, so my body is still very much healing, and I just had the ovarian suspension removed yesterday. My body's still going through it, so I want to be mindful of that. But I also want to slowly build up to getting back to normal. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. guys, so we have been back for about a week now. I just haven't been able to film anything because things just keep coming up. But that is the end of this vlog. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next one.